The authorities of all countries that authorize the ayahuasca, mushroom tea, and marijuana. We, the headquarters of the Clean Water and Peace Organization, are closing all sites of all types that produce, sell, or give any of those substances. They are not good, not positive, not needed, and we are closing down all of them. All places that uses any of those mentioned substances need to be closed down. They have 2 days to clean up their properties according to our video posted on religious meetings on our playlists, and clean up everything and give the keys of the property to their nearest university as guided on the other video. For the ayahuasca, all places that use it need to close down, including União do Vegetal, Santo Daime, Barquinha, and all others, including native tribes. The ayahuasca that is prepared in different forms and is also called in different ways. Some people call ayahuasca, some people call vegetal, some people call mariri and rainha that are combined. Any form they say they have to close down. Some of them also only produce them to sell to others and ship the bottles to others. All of them are also closed down in the countries that authorize them to use that as commercial practice. For the government authorities from Brazil, United States, Holland, Canada, Peru, Portugal, Spain, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Italy, and Australia that authorize União do Vegetal, and for some of those and others that authorize the Daime and any other, need to contact them and also close them down. We, the headquarters of the Clean Water and Peace Organization, are closing down all of them. For you that are receiving this video with this information, it's mandatory for you to watch and listen until the end. So please find a good time. You have up to 24 hours to listen it all, because we are sending this video to church leaders, to participants, associates, guests, local government authorities, and also volunteers that are helping us. They can go to the places needed as volunteers to help what is needed to clean up everything, close down, and give the keys to their local university. And already replace the deed under the name of the peace organization. And I'm going to explain why we're doing that. So you have up to 24 hours to listen to this entire video, have the information, and then you have 1 day to prepare if the church is very big, such as União do Vegetal, Barquinha, places that have the planting. So because they're gonna need tractors to take all of them out. And they're gonna need a big group of people to take the chacronas carefully. So because all of them will be properly shredded, like in mulch shredding machines. Machines that turn the wood and bushes into mulch. Shred them all. Okay, so now I'm going to explain why we're closing mainly the União do Vegetal, with some practices, some stories, and that they bring, and chamadas, they call chamadas, such as some of their songs. And I'm going to explain why is black magic in it. And people might not be aware, and there's many good people, in those religions, but they have to pay attention on things that are done that were then like spells to them, so they won't get up for the reality. Our intention not to hurt anyone is just to make everyone aware of the situation, of the details, not only because they serve Huasca, but also their stories, their chamadas, and even dates, like the calendar dates they celebrate in União Vegetal, on how it's the negative influence on all of them. And we are going to explain why. So we are going to start with the stories of União Vegetal. So the first story talks about Rei Inca, that in all the special occasions they tell this story, and the counselor that is born and which the king follow his guidance and want to learn about her mysteries. She was born from magic. She was not a real woman, and like a fairy or something similar, and not a real woman, and he doesn't really marry her. And he also say, in a few words, that he was killed for his greed, for the gold, or for the people's greed, the participants' greed for the gold. So that is also negative, right? Now, the story of San Cosme and San Damian, even that they talk about two people, right? Two brothers, but they say only one heart. The right, if there are two men, is not to be together in one heart. That's not right. The right, it's for every man to have a woman, every woman to have a man, right? So that's another thing that's not right as well, not positive. So they cannot be united in one heart, because we have to be smart, of the things. The real peace do not have anyone of the same sex working together like that says on a chamada, so united they were. On the time they came, they help people, they cure people, that's one thing, but to be bringing that every year, it's not right. We, for the peace organization, work for everything to have one man and one woman united and married and working together, do things together. The other story that they bring often is Samaúma. So in a few words, there is a couple, the parents, and 3 children, right? 2 sons and 1 daughter. So the 2 sons go for a long mensagem. They don't say if it was a message from the king, a written message, a paper message, or probably was a message, mensagem, like it says in União Vegetal, for them to bring mariri and chacrona to prepare the tea. But they really never talk about preparing the tea, so we really don't know which mensagem they're talking about, the word in Portuguese. All right, the brothers take too long to come, and the girl dies, miss them too much and dies. Look at situation. All right, the 2 brothers, when they arrive, one of them keep asking for where's the sister, right? And the parents didn't let them go until the other brother said, let him go. And then the parents let this other brother go. So he goes into the woods trying to find where the sister was buried. Imagine such situation where the sister was buried, and which grew a tree there. So he comes inside and singing a song, and he finds the tree. When he realizes his sisters, he cannot climb the tree, so he climbed the tree on a side and get enchanted. In a very few words, that's what it is. It's all negative. This is all black, negative story, negative energy, negative practice. It's all negative. First, which trip is that that's so long? Not right, right? For the which girl will die because missing the brother? How many days, how many months or years this trip happened? Because this is not a normal thing, and for to have such a long trip is not normal, not positive as well. So all is wrong. And then the girl becomes a huge tree. That's Samauma, the tallest or almost the tallest tree in the woods. That's not right. And that was also black magic from Mas Gabriel for us, for our work of the peace organization. That is a symbol of the tallest tree of the forest. But the tallest tree, what's the tallest trees? That's one of the things he mentions on Samauma. The other thing, the brother also gets enchanted. He climbs this tree that I said, and he gets enchanted from the top, from the branches, when he touched the sister branches, the sister arms. Imagine, this is all black magic. This is all negative, and for many people, they have been hearing this for a long time and don't realize, don't get up. So my intention is just to bring awareness for all of you to pay attention what it is. I was at Uniao Vegetal before. I'm not there for quite a few years, not there anymore. I asked myself to leave with a proper documentation, and I'm just warning you and, bringing awareness for all this situation that's not right. So, and the story of the Reinca, when Oaxaca dies, also say that, a bush is born from her tomb. Oh, this is not right. People die. The right way is for them to soon after, not too long, not too many years, maybe a year or two or a few months, born again, for them to keep evolving spiritually. So he mentioned this quite a few times. The people die and become a bush. People die. Samauma die, became a tree. The brother die and get enchanted as well, So all this is not right. For the birth of Jesus, it's also not positive because the mother is alone in the garden, get enchanted, in a flower, if this is a daytime, it's a nighttime, and Jesus is born from a flower. So all these situations, like from fairies, from what is it, which type of magic is that become a person, right? But that's not the right way. The right way is what God, the superior force, gave us. It's one man with one woman that will have a child, a proper child. That's the right way. Okay, that's the right way. Even that, many people heard already about the regular story of Jesus that says on the Bible that Mary didn't, have a proper husband on the time she had the baby, right? But it's not to give value such story, and even the way he says Jesus was born is also not right. As I said, the right way is a man, a woman that have a proper baby. Not a woman have a baby with God. That's not right. With Spirit of God, that an angel help, and what's this? That's not right. The Bible is wrong, and Uniao Vegetal is also wrong. The other one is the story of the gardener. That's not clear, not positive, not complete. And it's for us, for the peace organization, it's the most important work. It's the garden work. For us to plant our own food, for us to harvest and use, eat our own food. So, Mestre Gabriel, in quite many stories, in quite many chamadas, we're trying to get people to accept those stories, saying over and over, but in reality, it was already looking ahead of time, trying to put the peace organization in a situation that's not good. But we will win, and we will have the peace organization here on earth for all countries, work that is for the superior God, superior force here on earth, for us to have really a better humanity. Sometimes I think that, he was not aware, as Gabriel was not aware what he was doing, or he was aware and he couldn't find a way to change on time, or the negative influence on him was too much, because he even got sick a few times and he ended up dying with a tumor in his head. So I don't know really what happened. Or he was aware and he couldn't change, or he did in purpose. Because one of the main pictures that is shown everywhere in his book about his life, and many temples, right, is the picture of him holding the cup of water, right? That is a cup of water. And he's covering what? The water. We cannot cover water. So why he did that? It was that influence of evil, negative force, or he did it himself, trying to be, because he looks strong at that picture, like he's aware, shows like he's aware what he's doing, but he's covering the glass of water. It is a glass of water, so again, it's one more thing, trying, influenced or not, but trying to don't have the water, but we need water in our planet. In all countries, everyone needs clean water. We need clean water and peace, right? Our gardens, our education, our schools. Okay, so about the Rainha da Pedra Mar, that is a chamada, and say some explanations about that also. It's very negative. There's not such a thing. A queen in the middle of the ocean, where? He doesn't say, right? Above the water, under the water. It's all wrong. If it's under the water, it's wrong. If it's above the water, it's wrong. We need people, good, positive people, men and women here on earth. We cannot live, people cannot live in the water. So, because it was mentioned, and she's very special, and, she brings this force of the ocean and this and that, but it's wrong, and many negative stories like this one is one of them, even made movies about kingdoms under the ocean. Oh, this is wrong, such as Disney make movies, other people, and books, and many stories about that under, below ocean. All those stories are negative. People cannot live underground, right? So we have to realize. So if he did that and did wrong, but didn't correct in time, oh, this is wrong for one reason or another that I said. But it's wrong, it's not positive. It's not positive, right? What we need is to clean the ocean. We have to clean the ocean of bad energy, animals that are not positive, not are harmonious. We have to clean the bottom of the ocean and, make all those animals that are not positive to to die and renew in a good and positive way. So there's a lot of work to do, to pray in a positive way and sing in a positive way as prayers to clean the ocean without any man or any woman there, without any queen, any king, without anyone, just normal fish and no mammals of any type. We have to pray a lot for them to come to the beach, and we can clean up during the 28 weeks and also along the years. Pray and pray a lot. Everyone, we need to work united to make this happen. In the same way that we need all waters from the rivers clean, all waters from springs, all waters, all clean, all clean and positive for everyone. That story that's very negative is the Jó, História de Jó, like the patient man, right? So this story is very negative. It talks that he loses everything he had. He loses his wife, he loses the children, the house, the property. He loses everything. And then one day, an angel came to him, gave him a cup of water, and he has everything back. He find another person, marry again, and have children again. But in reality, that's negative, very negative. People don't have to get sick and miss everyone, the whole family and everything the person has. That's so wrong. The right way, it's for people to stay married, for people to keep working for God, superior force, but in a positive way. Right? In a positive way, with their spouse beside them, man and woman working together on the planet Earth, doing good and positive things with their children, right? Not everyone dies and an angel come and give him water. That's not a positive story. That's one more that's not positive. Another one that's very negative is the story do diamante. The day of the manche, but also can say like a diamond in Portuguese, translated as a diamond. So that's a very negative story. Why the father didn't make the son to be happy on time, to be aware of spiritual evolution, to be kind, respectful, to work and have their own income, for him to have his own income. Why the father didn't say that? So the father gave a lot of money and then already planned a day that the son was going to kill himself to have more precious stones, more gold, or whichever was it. All this is wrong. Very deep depression. The father was already planning that the son was going to be depressed and try to kill himself. All those stories are black magic, my friends. All of them. They're really not right. Imagine a father that already imagined or planned, right? That the son was going to kill himself. And already prepare for him to have more richness, more precious stones, whichever was it. All these are very negative. The other stories that are very negative and everything is to do with spells. It's the stories from José Florencio. All of them are all very weird. It's like preparing things to hurt someone, or the person comes from very weird negative things. They're all negative, not right, not positive. The other story that's very negative is St. John Baptist, and they let exactly on that day have the children present. So lately, they make an agreement that the children wouldn't stay during the story and only at the fire. But still, that story is told every single year for older teens and adults, and it's very negative. Very negative. So it's a story that happened, more than 2,000 years ago, very negative, and we cannot have those type of things. The person gonna get degolated by the brother's wife. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. We have to pay attention what we tell other people. We have to pay attention, right? What we're telling other people. So those stories, we have to have awareness and tell only positive stories. If they're old or not, it's okay, but only pass positive stories to other people that give a good message, that brings a good message to people, not negative stories. They're not right. To avoid things, to connect to negative things. We cannot connect to negative things because there actually is that couple, that two brothers. Actually, they're alive here on earth. Yes, and the wife was, even that both brothers were married, the wife of one of them was still kissing the other in the mouth, little kisses, but was still kissing the other brother, the brother-in-law on the mouth, even that both of them were married. But I'm not even telling who it is, where they live, because that's their problem. You cannot connect to negative things. And the girl that actually the mother insisted to cut the head of John the Baptist and bring in a silver platter, this girl exists, is now a woman, and is really exists, and has been very hard for her to marry, even along the years. But, my friends, we cannot connect to negative things. We have to connect to positive things. It's one man, one woman, married and happy forever. That's how it is, We have to focus on proper marriages and proper families, united, doing good and positive practices. Those are the stories that we have to tell, everyone. That bring a good message, need to have a reason, right, to tell a story according to their age group. Once that I'm already telling that story, I'm already saying we are not having godfathers, godmothers, or as Uniao Vegetal, they say to jump the fire, right? When the fire is small, the campfire or bonfire, when it is small, if the person was already baptized, they can have a new couple as godfather and godmother, but that's also wrong. The right way, it's for the persons or the child, the baby, own father and own mother to be in charge of them, and don't have anyone else close by, anyone else helping, anyone else in case something happened, because then the person is already thinking something can happen. No, nothing will happen. Their own father and own mother, they are in charge, of their own children, their own teens, their own young adults. They're in charge for life, and their position with respect, according, until they get married, a few things change, but their own father and own mother, not godfather and godmother. That's the right way. Okay, what Jesus did, he did. But now, this opportunity of the peace organization to be implemented on earth, that's how we're going to do, in a very positive way. More positive way that was done for more than 2,000 years in quite many Christian religions, right? And maybe some others as well. The other story that's very, very negative, it's all black magic, black spells, is the Herói do Labirinto, is the hero of the labyrinth. It's very negative. You know, many bad things, negative things happen on that story. And in a few words, we cannot have an animal have sexual activity with a person, right? That's for the beginning. And we are not also going to repeat over and over that people were cannibals, right? We don't eat our own brothers and sisters, humans, right? So that story is also wrong, should be banned by him when he was alive. That's a very negative story. What we did on the past, you know, like, many people that use ayahuasca try to see past lives, that's not so important. That's not important at all. The main thing is who we are today, who we are right now, how good are our practice to ourselves, how healthy we are, how kind we are, how respectful we are, how much dignity we have in our practices, right? With our own spouses, with our own family, with our words, with our neighbors, our friends, our co-workers. How much dignity we have, how much kindness, respect, and how good we are in general. Not bad things that happen, you know, and probably more than a half is not even true, right? Even that we know some native tribes in some countries is still cannibalists, but that's not right, not positive. So that's a story that's very bad, very negative, not right. The other story is the Saint Barbara, right? Santa Barbara. You know, who is this king that kept her trapped? And three Indians saw her at the beach, and then she's trapped for a long time. And all this is very negative, you know. Actually, this king exists, is alive, you know, and took quite a long time for that person to be aware of how many negative things he did on that life and also on this life. But my friends, we have to focus on positive stories, very positive stories. The other story is the King Solomon. How a king that Mas Gabriel says is a superior king if he has so many wives, concubines? How is that? You know, so for what we know, because the queen that he mentions, we mentioned UDV, people mentioned UDV, and also the queen that says on the research, right? On Google research, for example, what is that? He used to be practice polygamy or what? Why he has so many wives? And it's really sad in many places that, you know, they tell this. He was a superior king. You know, if King Solomon was a superior, a real positive superior king, he wouldn't have such a negative story. Over the centuries, you know, more than 2,000 years ago, you know, the same story telling about that. No, if he was really positive king, right, he would have only good things said about him and not all this, you know, hundreds of wives or concubines or, you know, that he mentioned as daughters or what. That's all weird, not right. So, my friends, we need to clean all that, you know, say a very few words for our children and teens, you know, and, you know, don't give much attention. Just explain all these things to adults. That's not for anyone that is teenagers, you know. So when they are 18 years old and older, they can hear this video, this explanation, but it's not needed to explain for anyone else. If you have a child or a teen that was connected to any of those stores, any of those chamadas, then it's important to talk to them all, you know, and explain a few words, very basic, very few words, why they're negative stories and that they and you never will talk about those stores and those chamadas anymore. okay? Because we need to be only clean. And we're also going to clean many stories of the Grimm stories, you know, that are said in Waldorf schools, and other stories you already know is negative, from Disney, from many other movie companies. But that is something else that I'm not even going to make a video. I'm just making this one to bring awareness to all of you. In the story of Jesus, and you know, also on a Christmas day, Mas Gabriel says like the chamada. O galo cantou, o menino Jesus nasceu. Meu sangue é de Cristo, meu coração é de Deus. You know, this is wrong. While we are talking about blood of Christ, you know, if he's just born, that is wrong. So, you know, connecting people on Christmas Day with blood, and it's all wrong, you know. Even that he tried to have Jesus as his leader, but that is not positive as well. You know, don't talk about blood when, you know, a baby's born, right? That's not right as well. Okay, no, so now let's say a few dates that as Gabriel said for União Vegetal, and why, you know, all of them brings the number 3 and not 2 or 4. So he does not bring the couples united, parents united, or whichever it is the dates of the calendar. So for example, January 6, right? It's the number 3. If you add them up, you know, it's 3 kings. Talk about 3 kings, and it's on the 6. 6 and 1 is 7. So it's not an even number. February the 10th. So in English, it's 2 of the 10th, right? February the 10th. And in Portuguese, 10 of the 2. If you combine this, is not right as well, because the day is the 10th, and you know, it doesn't add together. It's also total number 3. March 27, the same way. And then we go June 23rd, you know, even that, you know, everyone celebrates St. John the Baptist in Brazil, the 24th, he brought the day to 23rd. So all the dates are even numbers. It's not right. And most of them, the total number is 3 or 7, 3 or 7. And then comes July 22nd, that's also July, it's a number 7. September 27 for São Coração da União is number 7 and 9. You know, that's not right either. November 1st is the total of 3. So just a few words for you to think about that, because there are things that I also didn't think about before, but it's good for us to pay attention and have awareness of things that we do. So the other thing is that for some chamadas, you know, like when he says sombreia, sombreia is bringing the shadow and not the light. You know, even that people said, you know, the masters, the people directing sessions said that is the light, but it's not. Shadow is shadow. Light is light. It's 2 different things. And the chamada of the Caiano. Caiano is the year that falls. Is the year that falls. Is not right. Minguarana 2. How he say that Minguarana 2 is divine? Because if he was really being trying to honor divine nature, you know, he couldn't do that, because the activities that, you know, the stores, the chamadas and everything is not really putting nature in a situation to be really honored with so many negative things. That's not right. The other thing is that the chamada that every session is brought, Mariri and Chacrona, right? How is that Chakrona was the Huasca, right? That died and came a bush. And Mariri was not himself, was not King Inca, So he was not really married to the woman that he tried to learn so much from her. He was married to the Marechal, right? That became Mariri. So that's another very negative chamada. Even that is talking to unite, to be united, to unite. The other one is the castle of ivory, if we translate, right? That's so wrong. And when he say ting, 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 it's for people to be enchanted by these negative things. It's for people to get, the spells that he was sending with those songs, because people can ting, 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 or many different songs have a different words or vowels that keeps repeating at the end. So quite many chamadas, he keeps repeating that sound that's not positive, not needed. Okay, the other chamada is the chamada of the Castelo da Ciência. That chamada is to be clear for everyone. Science is to be easy and clear for children, for teens, adults. We study, we learn, very easy, not to be hidden, not to be kept by someone. No, it's to be said. What we know what's good and positive. We have to tell people and not hide in any ways, because it's not needed to hide anything that's good or positive. The other chamado Cajueiro, when he said sombra, right? For the whole world, it's not right. Because as I said, light is light. Shadow is shadow. Both things cannot go together. We need the sun. The sun is important for us. We need sun exposure. Not to be all day in the sun, that's not it is. But, for a song or a story to say, we cannot put such a word as the shadow. We need the sun, we need light, we need natural light. Yes, we need. That's what it's higher, positive, like higher standards. Is for us to have light, not for us to have shadow, right? It makes sense, it's very simple. The other chamada that's very negative is the chamada of the sun, the chamada do sol. So he keeps saying quite many things, but I'm just going to be objective, because people, if they want, they can examine afterwards. But he says, come from the just to the sinner. Comes from the right, the honest, to the sinner. This is wrong. It's trying to put people down. It should be the other way around. From the sinner became honest, or from the sinner became peaceful, or right, or righteous, or some more positive word, and not this way as he sings like that. It's all wrong. Okay, now the chamada and the story of Dr. Camalango. Cama do Lango. It's all wrong, because which doctor, if he was a person of the forest trying to find a plant to heal himself, right? It would not be anesthetic. It would be a plant that would really heal. It makes sense, right? Because anesthetic or anesthesia or any type doesn't heal anyone, just cover the pain for what? An hour, 2 hours, 24 hours, whichever it is. And then needs more. All wrong. Because that is like marijuana, right? It covers the pain, doesn't heal anyone and make people bad. So that is all wrong. That was a spell he made. That was a big spell he made. But thanks God, it's uncover and cleaning up now the peace organization, the work of the peace organization. But was a spell, a big one. That was a big one. And and people keep singing when they got healed. Even that some people got healed. But the main objective of that was a spell, if he noticed or not, but probably he noticed. Because some pictures he really looks serious, at the picture. He was not like sleepy, right? And the other one is the chamada of serenita. So I say serenitai, tai, 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 right? All these tones, repeating tones at the end, is to put people like in a spell of that. Being sleepy without being aware what's going on and getting inside people's brain. And it says lá, is the diretora de onde? De uma escola. Diretora de trabalho, diretora de what? What is the director? But he talks about his director. This director is me. But thanks God, we are having our peace work here on earth. Even that took longer because I was also in a situation of sleepy mode when I joined União Vegetal. But thanks God, the superior force, I'm aware now, and all those negative things against us, against the peace organization, it's clear and it's gone. So, the other chamada is correr para onde tem sombra. We already said about that. It's not right and will never be. We don't run to a shadow. What is that? Run to a shadow. That's not right. We do not run for any shadow, right? If it's, if it's a person a person that's like desperate, or a person that's unhealthy, or a person that it's not good with something, right? The person goes for light. The person goes for light, for superior light, or for wisdom of someone, to have help, or goes for light of the sun. The sun can cure. The sun can cure many things. Sun exposure can cure many things, make the body, help the body to renew cells. That's the sun, the gift of the sun. And not going for shadow of any type, because that's not right. That's really not right. So the other chamada that's very negative is the nos dias 1, 2 e 3. That says, fogo laborando, then says povo vacilando. What is this, my friends? And we keep hearing, all these chamadas are negative, are black magic, yes, with black spells. So he saw the future and he already put on days 1, 2, 3. That's not even numbers, right? So it's someone there trying to block the work of the peace organization. All this is wrong. We don't have any fire, making up fire, fogo laborando, making up fire. No, we don't. We don't have any povo vacilando. No, we need people to be strong, to be healthy, to be aware, to have dignity. No, vacilando. No such a thing, Which counselor? Because he mentions a counselor, a good counselor. What, bringing peace? No peace. That's negative peace. That's not right. So that's another wrong chamada. And also the chamada of the Samaúma that I already said. But, some sessions the chamada is brought without the story. Imagine for people to hear such a chamada, even older children or teens that join, even adults. That's such a negative chamada. Okay, so now is the number 4. Some teachings and happenings, why they are so negative. So again and again, that picture of him covering the glass of water, and also his face, that's very serious, very firm, when he looked forward, right? That actually, some people talk about that. And also that he left eyebrows, it's quite much taller than the right one. And a few of the teachings. So that's number 4. So he says that he will dominate the world with peace. But with all these practices, won't be with União Vegetal. The other thing that he says is that Vegetal would be one day drinking water. So I don't know why he didn't change that while he was alive. If he couldn't do it, he didn't find strength to do it, or he didn't find clarity to do it. But we are not doing that. The peace organization, we are not holding 20, 40, 60, 100 glasses of water to drink water. We're not doing that. We are just being, close to nature, close to our houses. Nobody gonna travel anywhere, right close by to have our special meetings, as says in other videos. And some special religious events that we can do it at the beach, at the nature events, but only for very special days that I'm gonna say afterwards in another video. The other thing that he mentions is when the person has a bad dream, to get up in the morning and look at the sun. All wrong. All wrong. First, people that do not watch negative movies, don't play negative video games, don't talk negative to others, they have good dreams or no dreams. People that do bad things, read or watch bad things, those are the ones that have negative dreams, right? But people that are firm, doing their prayers before their meals, or when they get up, do their meditations, they have good spiritual energy on themselves and their family, right? They don't have any negative dream. And they also, it's not good to look the sun. Who says look the sun is good? It's not right to look right at the sun or be by the sun. We can be by the sun, but we don't have to look at the sun. We can be great for the sun. That's different. So the other thing is that the UDV flag have 3 symbols. That's not right. It should be 2 or 4, because partners, even numbers, that's the right thing for our humanity to be more positive. The other thing is for the temples. All of them have 3 arches, all wrong. Because he tried to put himself beside who is divine, the couple that's really divine, God, superior force, and nature, the divine nature. So he cannot put himself as the third one there, because he's not, as also his work shown, it's not that. The other thing, he put a spell on his father when his father didn't recognize him. That is so mean. Who does that to a child? If a child doesn't recognize the parents for the good things they do, they're going to talk again, talk more, and not make them in a situation like that he cannot speak. He born again and cannot speak. Imagine. All this is wrong. No one do that. They have good hearts, Parents have to keep talking to their children, talking again, right? But not give him such a spell. That's a negative spell. The other thing is for the sash used by the nucleus that have 5 or more masteries, right? So that has 2 sides. That's not positive, because when the sash is used For the person that's looking, the one that is wearing it, the sash would go to the right, right? But for the person, when it looks to themselves, the person that is wearing, it goes to the left. So it's not right. So that's why we are not using any sash of any type for any reason of any work. Also for the uniform, on the pocket say UDV. So UDV, it's like that you own, you devi, you know, devi. Also, we can also say that word for those letters. So this is also not positive because also has 3 letters and not 2 or 4 that should be more positive. Also people threw up, and that's such a negative thing because for the people that really eat well, have positive practices, they chew their food properly before they go without hurry. You know, they have time to sit properly, eat healthy with their family, you know, or at the place. They don't throw up, you know. People threw up because of the food situation, you know, they didn't chew, or the food is not healthy, or they're not doing good positive things. The other thing that's very negative is have nucleus with name of masters that pass away. So with time, gonna be a bunch of nucleus. It's already a bunch of nucleus with names of masters that died, pass away. So that's not right because no one does a nucleo by themselves. It's a group of people. So, you know, that's also another thing that's not right. All the sessions, most of the sessions are done at night, from 8 at night until 12:15 in the morning. That's very negative because 8 is the symbol of the whole planet Earth. So he tried to get that, but the night, it's also, even that on that time it started because people work. He was already offering Vegetal not only on Saturdays, he offered during the week as well, right? We know that. But it's very negative. He should correct that before and do it during the day, that we have light, we have clarity, you know. So, and don't drink Vegetal anymore. He should bring water before he disincarnated. Why we need shadow and light that is not really bright? To be, you know, in a dreamy mood, to see what? To feel what? You know, we don't need any of that. We can talk about spirituality and we can evolve spiritually by having positive practices, you know, of all types. That is the peace of organization work. And don't get families exposed, you know, in danger in the middle of the night. If he really saw 100 years ahead, he would see of that, you know, that the how many times people got in bad situations driving at night to go home, or even at the nucleus. How many problems, so many problems in different states, right? In different states, and some very serious one that happened. So if he saw that, he should close, and in a few words he could say, look, we are not doing this anymore at that time. We are going to do Saturday, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or 8 o'clock in the morning. He could have changed on time, right? So that is wrong. And with the number 8 at night, number 8 is, as I said, is the number that represents our planet that goes, you know, turns around and around during the year, right? And have a complete turn. The other thing that's missing, if he really saw 100 years ahead, he would talk about have clean water for everyone, for the União do Vegetal to really work. You know, have water and food, plant many food gardens, and have clean water, and also help other people, because there are many churches that they volunteer and help other people in União Vegetal. We don't see that. People working in their own site, at their own property, right? So we don't see that. So in a few words before he passed away, he should have said that. Look, please volunteer, help people, in all countries to have water, food, house, and education, because those four things are the real basic. For any spiritual evolution, it's hard for people to evolve spiritually if they don't have a house, or if they don't have proper, food and water, if they don't have proper education, if they don't have a family close by, they live by themselves. All those things are very important for spiritual evolution. If we don't have proper rules and guidelines for everyone of all types, everywhere, of all business and families, and also teachers, business owners, and the government leaders, right? All these things, proper rules and guidelines are essential. The other thing that's a big spell as well, it's for the end of the documents that are read every session, with exception of instructiva session, right? So when he make the Mistérios of Vegetal, he make that acrostic, right? Even that some sentences are positive, the main word, of the acrostic, it's related to his word and not positive. So when he says all those sentences, quite a few very positive ones, even that the man is also sacred. Yes, that's true. We're also sacred, right? And but the main word is not right, because it's related to any of these negative things I already told you before. The other thing is that he mentions to, when he's correcting a person and he slammed the person on the palm of the hands, right? That is very negative from the time of the slavery. How he correct the person that way. He should find another way to correct. No spiritual leader does such a thing. People can talk to others and, make the other correct just by talking firm and looking strong at the eyes. He did not need to do that. It was true or not, I don't even know. But that is said like really happened, that he correct someone that way, right? That was doing bad things around, But it's not even to be mentioned by people, because if the man was so bad, and if his correction was also so negative, it shouldn't even be mentioned, those stories. The other thing is that it's a practice in UDV for people to go to a person and get the blessing, right? Usually by September 27th, São Cosme, São Damian Day. They go to one of the masters or counselors of the núcleo and get the blessings there. But the right blessing is not to be done by others, and also not in a specific day. The right blessing, the parents will do it on the baby, on a child that is not well, right when it's needed. They will sing, they will pray, singing words, as we will explain in other videos. Keep saying words, positive words, keep singing until the baby or the child comes down and goes asleep. That they say quebranto, right? So that it's not the right way as done in UDV for them to go on a day, they cross the city to go to that person, or go earlier to the núcleo to get that blessing. That's not needed, not right. It also does not need any plant. I already blessed my son, one of my sons, when was really needed quite a few times, and was all good. I did myself the best ways to do during the day, but even at night on a child's, in a baby's room, you can do it. You just focus, keep singing. It might take 10 minutes, 20 or 40, not more than 40 minutes, an hour maximum. Should clear everything, every energy, negative energy of any type that came from anywhere. The parents need to learn how to do that, and do not ask others on a specific day, because that's not needed. The other thing is that the negative things that other masters let happen, gave authorization, or just let happen and ignore. One of the things for the temple decoration, that didn't exist on that time, quite a few things, such as decoration glass, right? Mandalas with synthetic acrylic paint, and also mosaics, in the garden, some other places. That's not positive as well. And many other things that people start hanging, creating, and that in reality he didn't authorize that at that time. The other thing is very negative in the Uniao. It's like the comments about other people. Tem o deboche, tem as piadas. So people laugh of others. Oh, he threw up. Oh, he was in a paia. Oh, and this and that, Positive people doesn't comment, doesn't talk about others being hurt, others being, in a bad situation of any type. Positive people don't keep talking about, or even worse, laughing about them. That's all negative, or very bad. Or for the first comers, or for old masters, or they have very high borracha, they don't feel good, or they lay down in the floor, and the other one went to end up in a pile of ants, and this and that. All those things are negative and not needed. The other thing is that for jokes, indecent jokes, said by some people here and there, very indecent, not right, like Mestre Luis, When I went Seringal with him, he said a few. I said, Mestre Luis, don't say that, not good, in a very simple way like this. He got very upset, and didn't, very few times I met him afterwards along the years. He didn't want to talk to me, but we need dignity in our practices for everything we do. And if someone tells us, look, this is a better way of doing things, we said, oh yes, thank you, right? Or something, or I'm sorry, or, just say something, okay? The other thing is to apologize. Yes, when people have a mistake, yes, we apologize. No, mas Gabriel said it's not good. Tell me why it's not good. People sometimes make mistakes, right? We're people, we're here on earth, right? Yes, sorry teacher, sorry father, sorry mother, sorry, from simple things until, not extreme things, but, we have to say sorry, yes, we have to say sorry. Children playing a playground, one get bumped to another, yes, for simple things, and for other things, yes, sorry. I will be better, right? And recognize that the person was wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, Or just accept that the person said for us to be better, have better practices. Also for the songs, some songs that were playing were not really harmonious or positive. I heard quite a few. We need songs that are 100% harmonious and positive. and that we can sing together. That's another thing that is missing. You can sing together. But this item is talking about what other masters let happen along the time. The other thing is for clothes, right? Some counselors were not wearing proper clothes, or even teenagers or young adults not wearing proper clothes. I saw a counselor here taking the brassiere off every session, going to a session without brassiere every single session for quite a few years, 2 years or more. There another one not wearing brassiere, one here in Florida and one in Goiânia, not wearing brassieres if it's in other places, or even with the V people. So my friends, we need dignity. If the person has, dignity, gonna wear brassiere, right? That's important. Also tattoos, instead of asking the person only later, when the person becomes a counselor, ask to take the tattoos right when they register. To register, need to take the tattoo out. So things like that. The other thing that masters start letting happen too, I don't know if that one was already said during Master Gabriel's time, was the story of the little prince, right? So it's this airplane that's broken. The prince is alone and take care of a rose in a dome, right? In a dome. Imagine, everything is negative on that story. And we heard quite a few times in the TV, or a few sentences here and there. Everything is negative. Everything. So masters were starting let these things happen, but they're not right. The fox have, the prince have accept the friendship of the fox much of the story afterwards. So that's all not right. The plane pilot with the situation of the broken airplane, everything is wrong. The rose is still in a dome, the planet is tiny, nobody else there. It's the other characters, right? The calculator and other characters. But it's not a good story to be told to anyone, even that's famous, but it's not a good story. So we have to really pay attention. So I told all these things, my friends, not to hurt anyone, as I said, but for us to be aware and for no one to be connected to Mestre Gabriel's stories, chamadas, or teachings, for people to see the negative part of it. Because for now on, we are going to be connected to the peace organization for all countries, right? And we're really doing the best we can to have everything the most positive and sustainable. But that is just to give awareness for no one to be attached to negative practice, negative stories, negative chamadas. And also children, If as I said, any child, teen, young adult that is connected to any story or in a positive or negative way, to talk to them, say they're negative, and then we're never going to talk about this anymore. Be clear. It's better be clear at once for those that need, instead of having that doubt that they didn't hear or they heard, because afterwards cannot be talking about anyways. Okay? All right. So, those are also, the reasons, and for also the use of substance that are not positive and not needed, that we're closing all establishments that use or plant or sell or give any of those substances, the ayahuasca, the marijuana, and and the mushroom tea. Every place can have 2 days of cleanup and turn on the keys to the nearest university, as explained in the other video. Alright, so thank you so much for all your attention, and I hope you can get happy about that information I just gave you, that you're aware of that, and really work well and do the best you can to get everything organized and completed during these 2 cleanup days for everyone. And after that, we can start the work of the peace organization for all of you as well. So let's get really enthusiastic about cleaning up everything, organizing everything, and have everything ready and clean and turn the keys to the closest university. All right, thank you so much. See you soon.